What's up, y'all? This, I guess I'll leave on for the folks that watch this video after if I post it to the channel. But Future Motion's releasing something tomorrow, and we don't know what it is. I don't know what it is, but I'm going to read Reddit and just spend some time. And if you guys want to chat about what it might possibly be, that's the point of this video. But I mean, just looking at it, and I wish I had a good way to show graphics. I'm like totally not ready to be uh, streaming properly on here. But yeah, let me get organized in case some folks pop in and want to chat. Hello, hello. I see that there may be people in the building. Chat with me if you hear me. And yeah, I'm surprised to see that there's a new product coming. And I'll tell you, I don't have the money to buy it right now. So we'll see what it is. But if I can get an HDMI cable, I'm going to at least run Reddit on my phone or my iPad or something. And if you're joining, hit me up in the chat. Tell me where you're joining from or what's going on. Any guesses? What is this new product tomorrow? Hidden comment on second post. Mention suspension. So I don't know about suspension because that patent has existed for a very long time. And way back before the GT was released, the suspension thing was floating around. And I was like, man, maybe this is the time. I really think we're still relying on our knees being the suspension and just kind of riding loose. What I do see though, looking at the silhouette in their most recent post is thinner rails than the GT and the GTS. So it seems to be a new class of product. It doesn't quite look like paint. It doesn't quite look like GT or GTS from the silhouette. And yeah, XRS is a guess. And man, like what would that be? So an XR reimagined would look like what? Would function like what? What do you all think? Typically when we talk about these things, we talk about range, we talk about speed, and then we kind of place them in the product line. Like where in the roadmap does this fit? And whatever it is anyone in the market to buy another one wheel right now? I mean, we've had GTS Rally Edition. Yes, people have loved the XR for a long time. XR for life. I see your comment there. We'd love to see it come back in like a better form. I would agree on that. Um, I know in trying the Pint S and having previously been spoiled by the GTS series, I enjoy the form factor of the Pint S, but I didn't feel safe on it. I feel like with my weight, I can't like really lean into it and leverage all the bad habits that I have from riding the GTS series all the time. So it would this board would need to have the torque at least that would support a heavier rider like me. I weigh about 240-ish, and then I'm usually carrying a backpack, so it has to be a strong wheel. Crypto boom this week and a one wheel release go together too much. That's so cool. If you have crypto that just blew up in your in one of your wallets, then good for you, man. 16-mile-per-hour pushback. Boo, that noise. All right, so some of y'all think it's still going to be a slow wheel that has haptic buzz. So, like, speed wise, do you think it would hit 25, like whatever they release? Would it hit 25 like the S series? And do you think that the community needs that bar met for them to respect a new one wheel from Future Motion? Or do you think speed's not the important part? What like would be the important thing in a new wheel? And webs, I don't know, bro. Like I have no clue what this new wheel is going to be. I'm like literally on Reddit right now. I'm looking at the posts as they pop up. I'm trying to figure it out just the same. Hello Torque. Yes, I would. I think that that is a must. I don't see how you can get range, and more range unless they did a split pack. The VOW and motor controller would be so cool. Yo, that VOW wheel is mind blowing. Like the clips that I've seen from it, I want to try one. I did try Vesk for the first time a little earlier last month, and I have a video coming about that. I want to do it well because I want to show proper love to Vesk because my experience was eye opening. It was eye opening in a way that, yeah. So the funny part about my Vesk experience, I don't want to give away the video too much, is that now that I own the GTS series, the thing is like in my mind, like the space that I have for a new wheel to be in my life, it I'm not looking for like a higher performance wheel, and like a heavier wheel doesn't sound better to me either. So it's interesting. Maybe this kind of thing where we're going back to an XR style body is a sweet spot. Like in trying Vesk, I wanted what I experienced in like a pint sized format. That would have been great. Like I tried a Vesk that was a GTV kit, and like I don't want a wheel that's heavier that performs as well as Vesk. I would want a wheel that's smaller that performs as well as Vesk. Joel rides Vesk. But yeah, okay, the VOW thing would allow a split pack. Both enclosures would be all battery. So like if you're gonna have XR thickness in the rails, I think split pack you have to go there if you're thinking it's going to get equivalent range to a GT or even a GTS. All right, so let me get another thing on screen here. I kind of want to go and look through Reddit with you all. And so I apologize and be like out of focus a little bit. I didn't plan for this. This is just something I wanted to do because really I'm excited and I just wanted to share my excitement with y'all and see what you think is going to happen because I have no clue. So I'm going to grab my iPad. We're going to plug it in and then you'll be able to see what's on my iPad on the screen. That's what I would like to do here. So give me just a second. Yes, no pigs with lipstick. Give us something innovative. I agree. Michael Foster in the building. What's up, Cody? Fire spinner extraordinaire. Yeah, topic of tonight, of course, what's going to happen with this new wheel? And if you have bets you want to place tomorrow, I guess we can look and see who was right. If this is in fact a reimagined XR, again, when I look at the space in the market for something different, I think you have to meet the torque. You have to meet the torque demands that the GTS series has kind of taught us to desire. And I think you have to meet, I don't know if top speed is as important, but maybe you'd want to be at an equivalent speed. I think based just because Vesk exists, you want to perform as well as some of these vests that we're seeing on the market. So I don't know. Maybe that's the reason this new product category is coming to life. Maybe it needs to get competitive with Vesk. Want something between Pint and GTR. Again, I agree with that. Like smaller than the GTS series would be ideal for me. Just with the way I like to ride, to have something smaller I can grab in the house would be great. A more custom wheel, says Joel. So tired of lugging my JWXR. Oh, yo, for real. Like sub sub 30 pounds would be great. But if we get the range, I don't see us getting a sub 30-pound wheel. But in terms of like minimum real life expected miles, I think like 14 to 16 is a cutoff for me. I think you need to be able to realistically expect 14 to 16 miles in 48 and 52 magnets. So there's been a lot of seeing what everyone else makes, so seeing what the Float Life does and then copying. There's been a lot of that recently. So I hope it's not just, matching the magnets or going to a 5-inch hub or something that's so direct. I hope it's some real innovation that we could be proud of. So these days I'm riding a GTS series and I'm on the 6-inch hub. And the 6-inch hub is what we've become used to on the XRs. And I love the ride. It's great. Um, I think I've tried an MTE before, but most of the people that let me try their wheels, they ride like super low PSI, and I'm a high PSI rider. And so even on the 6-inch hub, I think because I ride at a higher PSI, I don't really benefit from the extra sidewall as much as other people would. All right, what's going on Reddit here? Can I share my screen on here? Ooh, yes, I can. Let's do that. So I can pull off Reddit. I can share my screen and we can look at this stuff. Maybe I don't need to grab my iPad for that. All right, share screen. Allow. Select tab to share. Maybe. Window. Yes. Okay. 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 Ooh, I'm on here too. Oh, cool. All right, so we're on Reddit. Let's scroll. Let's see what's going on here. Checking the comments on this. We have someone who does not believe that we're getting an XR. Thinking maybe just a video launch. I disagree with that. Pine S with recurve. I disagree with that. Based on the silhouette that they're showing in the thumbnail picture, I don't think that we're getting Pine S with recurve. Maybe it's an additional thing. Maybe it's like a one more thing, but I don't think that that's the thing. I have no idea what this could be. I'm kind of in the same boat, but I think the silhouette that they gave in the like Batman call out is a clue. Maybe they'll launch something that actually makes sense, like an upgrade restoration program for existing devices that so many in their base have already invested heavily in, instead of releasing yet another unremarkable incremental upgrade that sits behind the tallest walled garden yet, while still underperforming compared with less expensive competition. What am I saying? That would make too much sense. Okay, so I mean, I get the um, I get the feels, where this stuff has let us down in the past, but I think this time it's like a real announcement. Don't self diax. I don't know what that is. Cody, we can do more than RGB headlights if you want. Okay. So Cody had a bad over torque spill last Saturday carrying a bunch of heavy gear out to his fire event at the mall. He spins fire, which is very cool. XR couldn't handle it. Yeah. Yeah. So the torque of the GTS series has spoiled me. I did actually recently crash, but it was a traction thing. So like I ran over some like loose dirt and grass and face planted. Some grass is the bane of my existence. It takes me down every time. All right, we're going to this other Reddit post here. Let's see what's going on here. There's too many of these threads. Someone thinks it's a skateboard. There's definitely a tire in between based on the silhouette. XR2, probably. That's my guess with the classic car in the background. Same board. Yeah, the classic car could be a clue. Same board dimensions, updated electronics and enclosures. I think that's a very fair guess. But to reimagine that, like, yeah, you'd have to have a higher voltage system to support the torque, I'm sure. And then you'd have to, I'm sure, like the parts, like XR had all these different size screws and all these like little random plastic pieces. And I think they've learned a way to do better. Hopefully they can keep it light with whatever they replace it with. And hopefully the heat dissipation is better. 6-inch hubs. Yeah. Their MO lately to some extent has been to compete with float wheel. So maybe it's really is possible an XR2 on the way as a response to the XRV. 27 pounds. You're going for 27 pounds. That would be a Goldilocks weight, I think. Hope it's something modular, swappable parts. I don't think we'll get big modularity, not with the battery at least. Yeah, XR weight. That would be sick. But until right to repair gets a lot further than it has, no chance. And when FM has the lawsuits and political favors of Apple and John Deere on their side, our battle is very uphill with super thick grass, and we're riding a V1. Very descriptive. So this person is not betting on modular. We have a compact board, a long range board, and a race board. That's a current lineup. Seems like we're missing a light, punchy freestyle board that's full size. And I know this has been one of these things that S. Greg's been asking for also. A trick board. Full size platform, thin as an XR, very light and punchy GCS torque, and a near 50-50 balance, all in the sacrifice of range since it would require a smaller battery pack. That would be my guess. Yeah, I think that there's space in the product line for that too. Different paint color on the rails and the foot pad for $500 is hilarious because that's Pine S. Oh man. But yeah, a lot of people think, or it says here that this person thinks that whatever they release won't be as good as Vesk. I mean, Vesk can be almost anything you want it to be. That's the thing about it. Like, in my Vesk video that's upcoming again, like one of the things you think about is for Vesk, you can either take an existing Future Motion product and you can drop in a kit like GTV, Pint V, and so on. Or you could buy all these different parts from different people, engineers. Um, I don't know if VOW has the kits ready for sale or whatever it is, but yeah, you can buy all these like super custom things, or you can buy a finished vest product and float wheel. And man, then you get into like how do you tune it in a way that rides the way that you want. And then like the other thing is like your brain, if it's trained on how an FM board rides, when you try a Vesk board for the first time, and if you don't give it enough time, it probably doesn't feel like natural. But I think once you give it some time, it becomes this new natural, and then your other board feels weird. So I'm yeah, I'll share the video with y'all soon. I have to edit that thing. My goodness. Dale, what's going on, Dale? Long time. Um, so I'm commenting on these new products that or this new product that we should expect tomorrow. I have no idea what it will be, but I'm going through Reddit right now, and we've been placing our bets in the chat, trying to figure out what's coming out. I have no clue what's coming out, but I think that there's like a base level of expectations that we'd have for whatever this new board's going to be. I wonder if I could provide a link for someone to call in, chat with me. That'd be fun. Maybe I could do that inside of the window thing and have a little back and forth. But for now, let me finish going through Reddit. Fried my GT BMS. Yo, I've done that. And I fried my GTS. So no buen. Like for some people, for a lot of people, that's how they end up getting into Vesk. It's like they look at the repair costs for their future motion board and they realize it's expensive, and it'd be cheaper perhaps, or just as expensive to go Vesk, and then they'd have cheaper access to parts from there. Yes, FM is announcing something. So let me do this real quick. So if we go to Instagram, Onewheel, tomorrow something's coming out, right? So launch event 11/7 tomorrow. I don't know what time. You know, Jesse's the dude that got me into Onewheel. Like I would watch his videos online, and then I was like, that looks cool. I think I want one. And people are looking at this classic car image and they're thinking, yo, this must be like a nod to the XR. They're going back to a classic. So Don, I'm still on the XR. I love my board. I'm wondering, how do I upgrade the performance to get more speed and power if possible, or am I forced to get another board? Yeah, I think that's where if you let someone who's in the Vest crowd answer that call, there's a lot of folks that took the XR body and then they went Vesk. And usually that does require like getting in the board and replacing some parts and then tuning it with software. But yeah, there's a lot going there. Well, tomorrow's news can't be any worse than today's. I'm not going to get into the politics tonight, but yeah, it's good that we get to have something else to talk about, think about tomorrow. What is the one wheel strike? I don't know about the one wheel strike, Dale. Um, Jesse's videos helped me a ton. Yeah, Jesse is amazing. Maybe and wait, all right. So did we get an email from Future Motion? I personally don't see one. So if Future Motion sent an email about tomorrow's launch, I don't see it. But okay, so there's the post here, and then they followed it up with this post. So looking at this silhouette, if you compare the silhouette to the GTS or the GT, it's not the same rail design. Like the GTS has like that chunky kind of blade design, and these are not recurve either. So like we see straight rails, they look thinner than the existing line. I almost feel like this is a nod to something too with this line here, but let's look at an XR real quick. One wheel XR images. I don't There were rail guards that kind of had that vibe. Maybe if I go to one wheel, let's go to accessories. And then we'll go XR accessories. Kind of reminds me of, I don't see them anymore. They used to have these kind of like rally style stripe rails. Let's see. Yeah, like this kind of thing. That's kind of what the striping here reminds me of. So it's like, is there a rally XR? I don't know. Like what is really going on here? Street one wheel. Okay. So yeah, Yep XR, more like a street one wheel. It's going to be street for sure. But if you straight line the back foot pad and the silhouette, it looks like a smidge higher. I agree. Yeah. Yeah. This kind of reminds me of the FST situation a little bit. It does look like it comes up a little bit. I don't know how intentional that was. The double line is XR plus. Bat wheel. Nose lower on the front. Huh. I'm like doing the taco neck thing, trying to see it. Dale, I don't know this email. Um, Maybe you could forward it to me. You can I just put this in here? Pull the image into Paint or Photoshop. My only question is why? Why a new board? Is that the question? Bust out a level. uh Dale, if you have the whatchamacallit, if you have the email, just forward it to my FollowDon at Gmail. What's going on in their story? Let's see what's going on here. It's just a kind of repeat, and they're hyping us up. And then tomorrow in the notes. Ooh, my goodness. The anticipation. I wonder if any of these lines will go away. Do you think that they'll finally sunset the pint, or are they going to keep a lower price entry level one wheel in the mix? Because if they drop the pint, that means that every one wheel goes at least 20 miles per hour. 20 miles per hour, which is good for group rides if you want to keep everyone together, like to have like a 20-mile-an-hour minimum situation. I think they get rid of the Pint X. Dell has my heart. Why so many boards? Yes, exactly. And why so close together? Why are you launching them all so closely? Um, yeah, like that rally. Like I feel like there's lots of intentional clues, but they're not giving us too much. All right, you just forwarded it. Okay, let me see. Let me just pull this thing up. Okay. It all right. So the email is literally the I can't pop that one over, but it's the same image. It's the same image from Instagram, but they're just like letting you know something's coming. And if you click through on the link, it just takes you to the website. They would totally phase out Pine X after the Pine S release. I agree with that, especially because when you look at the compare, when you look at compare, like the Pint S makes no sense whatsoever, or the Pint X makes no sense whatsoever. So if I go to the site and then I go to boards and compare, like putting the Pint S next to the Pint X, $400 off? No. This board will never be $1,500 again, ever. Like they can't even pretend on that. So having the Pint X go away, I think, is not such a hot take. I think that is definitely a possibility. I still want rail guards that have reflectors on them or glow in the dark. I'm now thinking this is a street board, BS Street. I don't know. Also thinking maybe they could be opening up the platform now that you can pretty much buy everything on the site now. Opening it up how? Like what do you mean by that? Rye Rebellion says that they're so in love with their Pint X with the Pint V kit upgrade, a low Euro tire and WTF rails. Yo, that sounds amazing. So like a pint with the extra power that Vesk unlocks for you sounds awesome. But I agree with you with this idea where we're curious, like definitely curious about what's coming on up tomorrow. I'll definitely be watching. My bank account is not ready for tomorrow at all, even if I'm like fully on board with whatever they come out with. Matches the power of the GTS and the Pint platform with what Rebellion has. Future Motion is missing out on beard oil profits. 75% of one wheel riders have a large beard, just saying. If the price is right, I would buy some one wheel beard oil. Interesting. Okay. The Pint has been on limited time only sale for $750 for almost a year now. Could they drop? Do you think they would drop the entire Pint line? No. I think the Pint S stays. I was nerdy enough to make this Google sheet one day. See if I can pull it up. Yeah, I'm gonna pull this over here too. So I was looking at all of the Pint S would be their entry board. Dale, you've been asking for that larger apparel for years, and I've seen you even in the comments of their YouTube videos asking. I hope they hold you down. I hope they get you bigger than XL sizes. All right. I was in here, I was looking at the lineup, the current lineup, and then like this red line is the price delta. So there's this big jump between Pine S and GT. So that's that big jump. And when I looked at this data, I was like, all right, so can I make this bigger for y'all? I was like, where is there space in the product line for something new to exist? That's really what I was trying to get at. Oh, this thing, charge time. Like, charge time has to get better. Period. Like, charge time has to get better in whatever they're the Black Friday video. And Black Friday is coming in. So Dale, I'll be 100% honest about uh yeah, charge time on the Pine X is awful. Agreed. I oh, okay. So then I did the same thing without the fabled XR that I threw in the middle here. I just made the same sheet again. So I have the okay. Yeah, the median price of the Onewheel with the Pint S in the product line. I guess it moved to 2150. I think if I hide one of these, it'll update the numbers. No, it won't. No, it won't. 2000. Maybe it did. No, it didn't. It didn't change anything. Yeah, so you're spending like $2,000 on the Onewheel. I saw them dropping the Pint and definitely the Pint X. And then they're basically then raising their average sale for Onewheels if they do that. Anyway, totally unrelated to whatever I had going on that we're talking about. But yes, charge time has to get better. Torque, I think, has to be on par with the S series. And I would say, and top speed is a little debatable. Like a 25 would, I think, based on the VESC pressure, 25 should still kind of be there as like a top speed mark. And I think that they'll just miss on range unless they do a split pack. But if they do a split pack and they hit it on range, then it's going to be a heavier board. They're going to paint themselves into a corner with their pricing. Kind of agree. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's one area where they're not going to beat out Float Wheel, but I don't think that they want to either. I don't think that they want to compete on price. I think that being the most convenient way to buy a Onewheel in the United States of America, I mean that's a standard that they hit and that they try to maintain, but really like them being more of a global company would be amazing. Like, you know, support us all over the world. We definitely need repair centers out east in the United States. But yeah, like the global community needs a lot of love. Yes, Reimagined XR. Anything else? Do you think that they're going to do the Reimagined XR and like a one more thing and a something else, or is it just going to be new board? And then what price? What price do you think it would come in as? They'll open an Amazon store. Amazon would put too much pressure on them in terms like Amazon returns. You just take that thing and it's not in the box in the same way. You drop it off at the store and they give you your refund. And they're not willing to do that. Like you buy a Onewheel and it's yours. And if you don't like it, you're going to have to sell it on the second party market or whatever. And Amazon would put too much pressure on them to up level their service and returns and all the rest. Spec price list. Yeah, I was just again. I looked at the line. I was crunching some numbers, and this is the current line. But there's kind of like some weird in betweens with S series because you could do S series with the 6-inch hub. You can do recurve on 6.5, but like the presets are S series Rally Edition. And this S series with recurve, that's a 6.5-inch hub. And so if you don't want to spend the full 3,500, you can spend 32 and get an S series on a with recurve rails on a 6.5-inch hub. 1,800 is the guess. 1,900. So yeah, we're averaging 1,850 in the guesses, but Michael kind of throws it into a new stratosphere. Yeah, it's like where does it fit in this price chart? I feel like because it's new, it's gonna be a more of a luxury product. Also because there's a demand for it. I think a lot of people have asked for an XR size thing to re-enter, but the XR was 1,700 or so. So we didn't get used to spending 2 grand on a one wheel until the GT appeared. But now, if it's on par with performance for the GT, and especially if they hit the performance numbers of the GTS series, there's no way. I don't see it being a sub $3,000 wheel unless they bring the whole line down. I doubt it. I would say performance wise, it probably has to hit. Then it has to hit under what S series can do if they're trying to hit a price mark that's under S series because they wouldn't cannibalize the sales of the S and offer the same performance. Like everyone would choose the new XR. They wouldn't choose the S series. There has to be like a reason for them to for some people to land on the XR model. They did the trail focus boards and they focused a lot on tricks with the Pint S, which is odd. So I think this new board will be street focused, increased range for commuting, and torque for tricks. Yo, thank you for coming, Ride Rebellion. Yeah, I've never been live on here, so I was just like, I don't know. Like today, it felt right because this is I had no idea that a new product was gonna pop up. There's no way I was gonna record a video and talk to myself about stuff that I think is gonna happen. I'm literally just excited and looking at stuff with you all. Thank you. I will do it again. I'll try it again. Probably well over 5 years into your JWXR. How's the range doing on that after 5 years? All right, let me go back to Reddit real quick. They're going to reimagine your bank account is hilarious. Does look XR-ish in this. Yes, I agree. Bigger version of GTS, like hella big. Call it the keg. No. Full size surfboard. No. 5K. I'm getting 24-ish miles of range. 5,000 miles on your JWXR. 24 miles of range. 12,000 miles on the battery pack. Wow. It doesn't have to be about one wheel. Show us editing tricks. Happy to. No, 5K invested. Sorry, 5K invested. Wow. Okay. XR was 1,800 when it came out because it was $400 more than the Pint X, and it was $400 less than the GT when it came out, and the GT was 2,200. True. I think we'll see a GTS with the GT range. I don't think that's the board tomorrow. $5,000. Wow. I would love a board for over 200-pound crowd. So the pint models are, they tell you that they can handle 250 pounds. And then all of the GT and S series models, they say that they can handle 275. So I don't know what $200 200-pound crowd we're targeting, but I found that the torque on the S series is enough to keep me up um, at 240-ish pounds. All right, let's see. Did I read all these? GTSR, same power as the GTS, extended range, removable battery pack. I With that silhouette, I don't think that that's where we are for this. Um, I'm like waiting for Float Life to post because I feel like Jeff always finds like the hidden link on the website or something like that. I just have a GT. I need power, as they say, and Back to the Future. Yeah, for sure. Got to be a leak somewhere. I mean, where? Like I'm saying, our one wheel doesn't have it yet. It's not a ton of comments on these. LMFAO. What if they actually innovate or something? Oh yeah, so many duplicate threads here. This is probably taking them to. Oh yeah. Yeah, Jeff seems to always know. He has those Kendrick type. That's hilarious. I want a zombie board with no battery. Battery in the backpack. Okay. Back to the vamp and ride days or VNR. Can't believe no one has been spotted riding anything. Yeah. Huh. Yeah. I mean, has anyone been snooping on any of the factory riders accounts? I'm sure that they've kept it tight. XRS. Or you think they'll name it XRS? That sounds about right. I'm probably gonna get off of here soon. This is fun to speculate with you all. Skateboard, modular. We went through this one. Vesk the bro. So, all right. So this I do want to comment on a little bit. So there are people in the community who have broken boards or they have situations where like they have old boards and they haven't wanted to upgrade or they couldn't afford to do it the standard FM way. Or maybe you recently bought something. I would like them to bring the trade-in option back. I have a GT and a GTS series. My GT's collecting dust, and it's just not like there's no reason for me to ride the GT unless my GTS series is broken. Like there's no differentiation in the feel of those boards to where I would lean GT. So I'd love the ability to trade that board in and get something that I like, and that's why in my Pint S video I was saying, yo, I would consider dropping the GT and going Pint S. Um, but I need more torque. I couldn't do the Pint S directly because I would need more torque. What if it's a beginner board, top speed of 12? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Generally, they dress up the board. Okay, so when they're hiding it, they dress the boards up to look like whatever is currently out. They probably could have like taking an actual old XR, and they probably could have been riding that around testing it. Some of the team riders posted IG stories a few days ago saying they were in the lab while testing on some trails. Interesting. So I mean, yeah, we say street board, and people rode XRs on trails. Race for the Rail used to be on XRs. So I don't think any board is purely trail or purely street. But if it has torque for everything, that's what the people want. You got to give the people that. The 2014 one wheel had a top speed of 12. Yeah, I don't think that I think that whatever is coming out, they're proud of. I think this promo, this specific promo that we're getting, they're proud of whatever's coming out tomorrow. I don't see them like coming with something that they think is weak. Oh yeah, you got it. You got it, Dale. T Swain, what you think, bro? Oh, T Swain's on the politics today. Yeah, man. Have a good night, y'all. Have a good night, Michael. Cloud, you think that they're overly proud at whatever's coming out tomorrow? I'm happy to see more regular updates and innovation. So it was so funny because in between the XR and the GT, there were so many years like people were going to EUC and they were doing other things because Future Motion was slow to update. But now, like since the GT and S series, they've been like updating new accessories and new boards. And GTS series comes out, they turn right around and do the rally. It's crazy. Peace out, One Wheel Philly. Peace, 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 peace. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna end this one, and if anything else pops up, maybe you'll see me live again. Probably not tonight, but tomorrow, maybe we'll do a reaction. We'll do a reaction to the announcement. Thank you all for coming on here. Appreciate y'all. Peace. My first live.